Well, hey everybody, how's it going? I need to mute
Hey!
the stream so that I don't hear myself and not be able to speak because my brain is caught in an echo effect. How are we all doing?
Good.
So this is episode 1 of our game of Starhold, Oh Captain, My Captain. Before we get into it, I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and let us know where we can find them, starting at the top of the square. Masha.
Hello, my name is Masha. I'm happy to be here. I forgot what else I'm supposed to say. I also play on another stream sometimes. We're called Turntables RPG. We're actually planning on going live this upcoming Wednesday if you haven't had enough of my beautiful face.
She's like, we're also planning to go live in 15 minutes. So
Right now, in the middle of the streaming a stream.
Yes.
Percy.
Oh yeah, I guess when I talk, I should introduce myself. Hi, Percy. You can find me on most platforms at Big Purse Universe. I'm just a dude being a guy who plays a guy on this.
Nice. Susan.
It's my turn. Hi, I'm Susan Quintana. If you want to find me on social media, Instagram is the best place at neither right nor wrong. That's right with a W, because I'm a writer and very clever. You can also listen to my voice and other voices on my podcast, Novel Games. You can go to novelgamespodcast.com, or you can go to any app or website that has different podcasts on it. You'll find me there.
Nice. Tass.
I'm Tass. Listen to the Crit Show. Slap that like and subscribe.
And I'm Rev. And whenever I'm not in the studio working on the Crit Show, you can find me in this chair playing Marvel Rivals.
Same.
This was the pre-show conversation. So we got a little bit of housekeeping to do before we get into this story. First off, let's go around real quick and everybody give us a synopsis of your character. These characters were created last week when we played through Oh Captain, My Captain, which is descended from the Queen, and we ended up getting a a space story, hence why we're playing Starhold. So again, we'll start at the top of the square and go around. So start with Masha.
Yes. So my character's name is November, or rather Ember for short, and I am playing the playbook The Leader. The leader is a well-rounded individual, not always the brightest or the fastest, but somehow inspires confidence and loyalty in others. If you were there for last week, you will know that actually people kind of don't trust me a little bit. I have a hand that's injured because I did a bad thing to the captain. And yet somehow I am the first mate of this spaceship. I took the moves Take Me Instead and Figurehead. I don't know if I need to go into all of this detail. Rev, you tell me.
If you want to tell us what your two moves do.
Yes, okay. So Take Me Instead allows me to protect someone with plus head instead of plus heart. And Figurehead lets me try to convince the group to do something dangerous. The reward for succeeding is they do it without questioning me, and the risk if I fail is that they revolt against me. So previous threats of mutiny may come true because I, Masha, am bad at rolling d6s typically. I think that as far as my appearance, I am in our kind of typical spacesuit with my name on it. And I am a little anxious, but I hold myself as well as I possibly can.
Okay, Percy.
I will be playing the character of Odintarius Vontez Aloysius, but his friends call him Odie for short. And you know what? We're all friends here, so call me Odie. Odie is a towering, barrel-chested, real sweet boy. He's got a mess of braids always held up onto a very tight ball upon his head. So it looks like one singular pom-pom sticking out above his head. Uh, the character sheet for our large, sweet fellow is the muscle. If it needs punching, kicking, moving, or blocking, they're your person. And that's Odie. Moves I've got what? Like it's hard? Where once per crisis, I can solve a minor puzzle or problem or overcome an obstacle in a moment of genius, whether it makes sense or not, which that is kind of how I made it through my 20s. That is kind of how I made it through my 20s. And the last move was Come At Me, Bro, which I roll plus hand when I want to draw aggro in a fight on 10 plus, all eyes, and target sights are on me. 7 to 9, convince them that I'm a threat, but on a miss, things go bad for all of us. And you know what? Odie's the kind of guy that's going to say, Come at me, bro, quite a bit.
Susan.
Hello, everyone. I am playing the Augmented. We already determined that one of my eyes is injured, and so I have a super cool cybernetic eye. And so with that eye, I get the move with your special eyes. I can see in near total darkness, and I get a bonus when surveying a scene. Um, we also determined that there were some cool special effects that I didn't know about. I think because the parts of the brain where hearing or where vision and sight are so close to each other, it just made sense to me that I also picked the move volume control. So I can hear incredibly almost silent sounds when I focus on it, and I can also filter out overwhelmingly loud sounds when I focus on it within 100 feet of me. I just realized I just dove into the moves without talking about my character. My character likes to go by their last name. They're called Rogers. Um, Pronouns are she, they, whichever suits your fancy at the moment. I'm really, really tall. I have on a jumpsuit. That's the armor that I picked. So I'm wearing a jumpsuit, but it's very Kaylee via Firefly Serenity. But instead of mechanic, it's more of like it's clearly I have an outfit as I'm a person who belongs in the galley, right? Because I am the head chef of this place. This
So does it have
place.
an
Yeah.
does it have an apron on it at all
I
times?
I the apron I think has like a patch on it. and you'll see there the my name is there, T period, and then Rogers. Very, very tall, uh, long dark hair, uh, normally pretty quiet, but I got an easy smile.
Tass.
I will be playing William Husker Jameson. That goes by Husker as his call sign. He is a pilot slash mechanic that flies this bird that we're traveling around space within. I think that he's a big fan of the captain. Like, he's a big fan of how kind of no nonsense and brutal she can be, and aspires to those levels of no nonsense and wanting to break out of just piloting and maybe also captain, as hopefully deftly, if not as charismatically as she does. He's average height, not, particularly athletic per se, but enough to, be at the helm. I have had a few run-ins with some of the crew with some nonsense that has gone on that I think did not mesh well with our work culture here with our captain. I'll put it. I'll make it as. I'll say that the nicest possible way. The moves that I have lean more towards the being able to fix. I have, come on, you Bosch Tet. You're a mechanical genius, even if no one else appreciates it as much as they should. Whenever there's a mechanical failure of some kind, roll plus head. On a 10 plus, you suss out the problem quickly and know how to fix it. On a 7 to 9, it's going to take some time to stay and examine it first. And on a miss, you definitely think you know how to fix it. The other move is mine's the nicest. You put a lot of effort and love into the ship and colonies you maintain, and you know them like the back of your hand. Roll plus tech instead of head when you survey the scene on your own ship or colony.
Excellent. And your captain, Captain Reyes, is the captain of the Quasar, which is your ship. But I don't think you have your actual ship here because it was just a partial crew that was taken with. So it's one of kind of the smaller shuttles on the Quasar. What do we think the name is of this little ship that we've taken off the Quasar? And you don't have to, we can save this for last because what I want to do is build this little ship real quick. You each have a room on your character list that is built into the location that you're going. But for the purposes of the story we're doing, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the crit show, and I'm actually going to put those rooms on your ship. That way you know where they are. So together we'll pick 3 rooms. They can be whatever you want, and then you also each have a room, so the ship will have 7 rooms. So what's everybody's rooms that they are granted based off their playbook?
I have the headquarters, a place to command from, to plan, to gather, to regroup.
Okay.
I have got the training area, a place to work out in, to move, to strengthen, to fight.
Okay.
And if you ask nicely, also to hug.
Oh.
That's excellent because there is no hugging on my observation deck.
There is specifically a sign that says no hugging,
No
on the observation deck.
Yeah, no hugging at the headquarters either. Sorry.
Oh, this is like a hugless. What is happening? This is the worst ship I've ever been a part of.
It's actually there are no signs except for outside of the training area where it says like hugs allowed because that's the exception to the rule.
Oh. Well, I have a workroom, a place to repair, to rebuild, to design, to destroy, and to work. And there is a conspicuous lack of signage about hugging, which puts people off their ease, not sure, what the policy is when they come in.
So, what are the 3 other rooms or areas that we want on this ship? So we've got a headquarters, a training area, an observation deck, and a workroom.
Are we pulling from the handbook here, or are we coming up with our own?
You can pick from the handbook, or you can pick your own.
Where is it in the handbook? Do you know? Do
Oh,
you have
I
the reference? If not,
love
I'll keep
that
looking
question.
for it. I didn't ask. You know what? I have it up on my second monitor, and I'm self-sufficient.
Uh,
I'll figure it out.
I
Well
didn't know I was
then,
supposed to know stuff.
self-sufficient Masha, could you look and see if there's a galley? Because I want a galley on my little ship.
Yeah.
So there is on page 135
Ah.
of the handbook. Remind me what a galley is.
The kitchen.
There is kitchen. Kitchen is an option for
Oh,
location.
Perfect.
We
okay.
can call it our galley, though, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Am I using the right word?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just not always assumed. I guess in Starhold that it's like kind of uses
Yeah, it's like
more old timey ship terms necessarily.
yeah. And am I making it up? Does galley indicate that it's where food is prepped and also eaten, not just prepped?
Oh, might be. That's a good point.
Anyway.
Yeah, another option is cafeteria, but if there are only a small handful of us, I imagine we can just eat standing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
A galley is a ship's kitchen and pantry together. Interesting.
why? I don't care where you eat. I just want a space to chop things in peace.
Same.
that.
Haha.
So we're going with a galley.
Yep, I approve.
What are our thoughts on having some kind of infirmary? I ask because I seem to become injured a lot. Also, Susan's character has an eye that is different from the one she was born with, um, which happened somewhere.
Yeah,
Sometime.
that's pretty important. I dig it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got one more room.
Ooh.
I can read from the list if that inspires people.
Sure, let's hear it.
We've got armory, atrium, barracks, cafeteria, cargo storage, common room, communications room, garage, general store, generator room, greenhouse, hangar, headquarters, infirmary, kitchen, lab, living quarters, maintenance and processing room, marketplace, observation deck, we have that one, recreation room, research room, retreat, school, secret room, server room, training area, and workroom.
Yeah.
The two.
And so assume that whatever you don't have listed, you don't have.
All right. Well, if we have a secret room, do we know what's in the secret room?
Sure, someone must.
That's it. That's the bit for the rest of the show. Is like, hey, you guys want to go to the secret room? What's in
No.
there? I don't know.
I don't
Can't
remember how to
the
get
rest of
in.
Black when you go in there. Yeah.
I don't remember which book to pull on the shelf to get us in there. I feel like living quarters. It would be nice, or like a recreation room because recreation is needed. Hi.
Yeah, I do. I was gonna agree with that as well. I was thinking like a place for us to sleep would be nice in
Yeah.
regards to like living quarters.
Living quarters.
I was also a big fan of potentially having an atrium because atriums are usually very nice, very tranquil. And I wonder too if it's a place that was because this is just like a smaller one too, and I think that would be a nice place to have some thematic conversations as well.
Ah, aesthetically pleasing.
Also, where I do my bonsais.
I have a lot of hobbies.
It's just that.
Ah, you have one hobby.
You
That
have
sounds
one hobby.
rude. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
You have one hobby.
You have one hobby. In space, the bonsai grow slower because gravity different. I don't know. Ignore me. Not helpful.
Remind me what we have for sure. I know we have my
Yeah, you got a
workroom
headquarters,
Okay.
a training area, an observation deck, a workroom, a galley, and an infirmary.
We can always replace the infirmary with something more exciting. I don't mind that.
I like useful over exciting. I think an infirmary can be very exciting in the right context.
Yeah. Again,
Exciting could be good or bad.
as you've already stated too, you are very injury prone, and I think that makes that almost your second home. So far
I
be
just
it from us to take that away
sleep in a
either.
cot. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Oof. There's so many useful things.
Yeah.
Like living
And
quarters.
surely what you don't have will not have a
No.
ramification on the story.
Like living quarters is what I would personally want. But like generator room, like something about
Right. If we don't have a generator room, does the ship not move?
You just don't have like any kind of backup.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We've heard the consequence. Fantastic.
I would lowered my stuff if I'm coming in loud. Thank you for keep
Yes.
me
I
honest.
have been talking away from my mic too,
Coming
which
in
doesn't
hot.
help.
Coming in hot. Let me know if this has done anything. Oh, I say, eeny, meeny, miny, mouse, Susan picks.
Incredible.
She's like a second galley.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, I was right off the bat with something. Did we wait, what okay, so what do we have so far? Because
We
rooms
have
have been thrown around.
headquarters, training area, observation deck, workroom, galley, infirmary, and we're trying to pick our last like for free room.
Let's go with the atrium, what Percy was saying.
Okay.
Okay.
We can sleep under
Oh
the
my-
stars.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no one ever listens to me. We could. I think we
love it.
always do technically.
Yeah, I think that you are all probably like sleeping in the infirmary or in random spots wherever you can find.
The
What is
infirmary is my room actually, so stay out of there.
what do we think this is named? The main ship is the Quasar.
I don't know what a
I've been
quasar
thinking
is.
about this
Yeah.
since the last game, and I've
Mhm.
only come up with really beautiful and lovely names that do not fit like a little tiny ship within a ship.
But that's
So,
funnier.
Like what?
like, I don't know, like
The
like
giant ship.
Gossamer 1, and then there's like we have different ones numbered, or uh um like each maybe a little tiny ship that was attached is like the name of a different star or something.
Oh.
Mhm. Anybody got a favorite star?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, my
It's
bad.
just Dwayne. We call it Dwayne.
Dwayne.
We just look up Dwayne.
Mhm.
It's the one that looks like a giant rock. Sorry, Masha.
I have they all look like giant rocks. Aren't no, but they're made of gas. Not important. It's been a long time since I've been question, not because
Yes.
we're trying to avoid this question. What happened to Julio? Or did we determine that Julio is with the captain?
So we'll kind of talk
We'll
about
get there.
here
Okay.
Julio and the captain, but all 6 of you are currently on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
We
spent
talk about
four
Julio.
four years on the Patreon content naming ships, so I abstain.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fine.
I was
The-
waiting for Tess to like say will and pull out like a scroll and be like just goes down.
Ones that weren't checked off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can think of at least one that was not checked off that I kept threatening you guys with. So if we want to go with the hot nugget,
All right, hot nugget boarding the Quasar
No,
now.
no,
Insanity.
no. What if because we're so food motivated, it's called Flavor Town?
Jail. Everyone,
My only
everyone, check. Call the cops. We're getting
my
Masha.
don't stop.
How dare?
I thought my ideas were safe here. Okay. Um, my only association with Quasar as a concept is Helldivers 2, where there's a weapon called the Quasar Cannon.
Mhm.
And so my
Nice.
thought process is like we could be in the cannon of the Quasar because I imagine our little mini ship like shoots off and goes and does stuff and then comes back. Hopefully comes back to the main ship. That would be nice. The audience loves Flavortown.
Oh my god.
He's like the two people that chimed in love it.
This is very true. No,
That's
no, that's
three.
oh,
There are
no.
three people in chat who like Flavortown.
Oh, God,
Four.
hold on,
Oh.
I'm searching
Okay.
rapidly for star names and celestial bodies. Oh my god.
Uh,
Flavor Hamlet.
Flavor Hamlet.
Just a small, just a small little town.
All right, I'm going with Flavortown until I
I'm
hear
so
otherwise.
sorry.
Oh my
Um,
God.
So the next thing we need to do is get all of your connections. So those should be listed on your character sheet, and so let's work through those so we can get a even clearer understanding of how you all relate to one another. And this will affect a couple of the roles that you have because you will roll plus or minus the connection you have with the other spacers. So let's start at the top again. Master of Flavortown, what you got?
Stop.
Fire.
I've done this to myself. This is hard because we've established that like I don't know how much you guys like me. Oops. As part of our like pre-game world building. Rogers, do you trust me?
this is an excellent question because I think I established that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like last time we met, I said if I was going to consider anyone a friend, it would be you. So I'm going to say yes.
So I think that gives me +2. And does everyone have a different connection on their sheet? I realize like a different set of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one was either plus or -2. Vontez Aloysius. I think that my character calls everyone by their last name, unless that's like terrible.
Then
Would
it's just
you
Aloysius.
Aloysius? Okay, got it. Aloysius, amazing. I love it. Would you lie to me?
Yes.
Damn. I think that's a -1.
In a heartbeat, especially to save your feelings.
Great.
Oh.
This is a fun game.
Uh-oh.
Husker. Think about this one. Are you a trusted confidant?
Oh boy. I'm gonna say yes because I like to think that after us kind of having that rough start, that we were like, we're done bullshitting each other.
Okay.
All right, Percy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Rogers, would you have my back in an unfair fight?
Which side is the unfair? Like,
That's all it's. I mean, listen. I don't know if you've seen the scene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Gold Wind where they just start jumping a guy and the other guy finishes his wine and also starts jumping the guy. Sometimes I need that. Sometimes I need you to just be there for me, for better or for worse for someone else.
You've convinced me. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be there.
Oh, that's
Ah,
so good.
Roger, Rogers, I knew you were them. I knew you were them. I always did.
That's
Odie
so
knows
good.
when they're them. Okay, you know what? I was gonna change. I was gonna do this one for Ember, but I really do want to hear this one from Husker.
Uh-oh.
Are you afraid of me?
Ooh, great question.
Oh, I have to lean because that's funny. I've been thinking about this and physically and only physically, yes. So I think that there is a yes, that it has to be a yes.
Perfection. Love that. And now this one's now a lot more fun for Ember. Do you appreciate my protection?
Loaded question. Very loaded. I am trying to think if Ember has necessarily felt protected, like personally. I don't want us to be enemies in this game. That would be bad. Um,
We're not enemies, and
I
we're not,
know.
it's like
We're
it's
not
more
homies either.
exactly.
I think that the answer is yes, primarily because that's what you're like in part you are here to like be the strong one physically. And Ember cannot do that. So, yes, I think so.
Okay, Susan.
Husker, do you accept me?
Absolutely.
Um, oh, it's such a coin toss between these next two. Ember, do I unsettle you?
Yes.
That's so real. Had to dig all the way down into your feelings. I could see it because you're like, you really do. You really do unsettle me. I'm sorry.
Well, the same vibe is coming at you, Odie. Do you distrust me because of my abilities?
Ooh.
Nah, you're the cook, and you're good at it.
Oh,
I would never distrust
Okay.
you for that.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I also don't think I'm smart enough to realize what else you do.
Rogers, do you let me geek out about tech to you?
Oh my gosh.
oh, yes, I do. And you probably noticed that I do go a little glassy-eyed. I'm There's not a lot of people to talk to in space, so yeah.
It's the bartender listening. Like, I'll take that.
Well, there's not a lot of people to talk to in space because we didn't do a communications room.
That's very true.
Oh, that's great. Ember, do
Yes.
you listen to my professional advice?
I have to, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've learned the consequences of not doing stuff that I'm supposed to.
That's also fair. Odie. Odie. This is one. The other two, it seems very clear on the connection whether you put a plus or a minus to it based on what they say. But the way this one's phrased, I'm like, is this opposite, or do I just get to decide what that means? Odie, have you ever broken my equipment before?
Yeah.
We all knew.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's just like looking like you're in the china shop and you look at the bull and he's like, I know what this looks like. I know what this looks like.
All right, that's me.
All right.
Yeah.
So those are our connections. The Flavor Town going once,
Sorry.
going twice.
No.
It's gotta be
call
something
it
else.
something else.
Mini Quasar. Quasar Light.
what
Quasar
about-
the second.
What about okay, so we're gonna stay with the flavor aspect, but what if about Taste of the Cosmos?
Beautiful. I'm in. Great.
I don't know.
Susan still looks like she's been hit.
I'm sorry.
I feel like that's just like the full name of the Flavor Town.
Flavor Town.
Taste of the
Semicolon.
Cosmos.
Taste of the
Yeah.
Cosmos.
Oh crap.
Spice Rocket.
Spice
Spice
Rocket's crazy.
Rocket.
I'm gonna call it aperitif.
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 Oh
Aperitif.
my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Please, anything but Flavor Town. I am a yes man. Get me out of this situation. I've dug a hole with my own shovel, and I don't want to be there. I'm at the bottom of the hole, and I'm 5'1", and I can't get back out. Someone help.
Uppies, uppies, please.
Yeah, I like aperitif. That's really good.
Okay.
Aperitif rules.
All right. So, we are on the aperitif. The six of you are there on the observation deck. We have got Ember, Odie, Husker, Rogers, Julio, and Captain Reyes. Looking out of the giant plexiglass dome in front of you on this observation deck, you see this dark, hulking machine just floating in space. There are no lights on it. You really can tell it's there because of the light that it's blocking from the stars behind it and the slight illumination that's being cast onto it by the lights on the aperitif. You have found your way here after following this strange star chart that you had found tattooed into the number on the captain's neck. As you kind of decoded this, you saw that there was this prison tattoo on their back, but there were these areas, instead of just an all black tattoo, there were parts of it that were left like lines and dots, so that from a distance it would still look dark, but as you got up closer, you realized that it was giving you numbers in code, and so it has led you here. What are you all doing as you look out at this enormous, dark, floating hulk in front of you?
I'm trying to stay dispassionate about what we're seeing. I'm literally just piloting in, like keeping us on course, safe, and trying to just do this right, because this is a huge goal and I don't want to get distracted.
I think Odie is nose to the glass on the observation deck, looking out, just like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, why don't you give me a survey the scene, Odie? So you're going to roll this with plus head.
That's not good.
So you're going to roll your 2d6 and either add or subtract, perhaps, whatever your head score is.
All right, and I'm gonna out myself right now, everyone. I don't own physical dice.
Yeah.
I already got yelled at for
Yeah,
it. I
he's been
boomy,
already taken
boomy.
over, raked over the
I
coals for
yelled.
this
I was
before
the one
I
yelling.
this
I did get yelled at. I did get yelled at. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm rolling digital. So, all right. So 2d6. You are not gonna believe this.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 12.
All
Yeah.
right.
Minus
Uh,
one.
okay. No, still good. So on that, you get a hold 2, and you can ask 2 questions from Survey the Scene, and those are on your spacer reference sheet. Uh, on the top of this.
Yep. I see
Yep, there it
that.
And for those of you who have not played Starhold before, the questions that he has the option to ask, so he gets 2 hold, meaning he can ask 2 of these questions. What happened here? What can hurt me? What can help me? How can I get out of here? Who's in charge? Who knows something? Who's in the most danger? What would I know anything that is related to this? Is there something important that I'm missing?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like those bottom two are it. So would I know anything that's related to this?
That's a great question. So, we had discussed that Odie was spending time trying to learn more about piloting ships. Um, and so I think that the thing that Odie knows looking at this, because it is a large um, um, colony ship. That's why it's so big. Like, this is something that people were going to either be frozen inside of or live inside of for generations as it traveled to a new location. And these were typically just chock filled with stuff to set up on a new planet. I think the thing that you would know about this ship is that it does not use the same kind of technology that current ships use with the kind of neural link, because it is such old technology. You would imagine, looking at it, this ship is probably 200 at least years old.
And then last one. Is there something important that I'm missing?
Um, I think the thing that you would be missing here as you're looking at it, because you know that little bit about it being an older ship, it not working on the same neural link, you know that there's probably not a channel that Husker could connect to allow your ship to dock. That would have to probably be something more manual or some older kind of code that the ship would read. It would not um, interact with the neural links that you have on this ship. As Odie is taking all this in, what about Ember and Rogers?
I feel like Ember would probably similarly be like observing what is going on, although at a significantly further distance away from the glass than what Odie is doing.
I think you can also give me a survey the scene.
What if
This is
whenever
this.
I roll dice, I roll poorly?
That's okay. That makes the story better.
Okay. I dropped one on the floor, so give me a
Perfect.
second.
We're here to fail to succeed.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is plus head.
Yes.
I rolled a 6 and a 2, which is 8, plus 2, which is 10.
All right. So you also get a hold too.
Excellent.
And these questions, you could ask the same thing because you've got a different knowledge base. So you might
Brilliant.
notice different things or.
Would I know anything that's related to this?
Yeah. So I think that because are essentially a captain in training, like that is what your job is. What do you think that your experience before leaving your clerical job, like, did you take in a bunch of history about ships? Did you take in what kind of things did you study for your, the more frontal cortex part of being a captain, like just the stockhold
Right.
of knowledge that they need.
Great question. I have a suspicion that I probably this is so funny. I've decided that this is what it's going to be in my mind. I think that there is a version of like a TikTok in this world.
Mm.
And so I think that I probably observed like other captains who made spacefaring look very glamorous, and kind of like watched them in the way that us now would watch someone like make cooking videos for their culture or something.
Hmm.
And so I think that that coupled with like some historic documentation in the form of like video essay, is this too modern? Is this too funny? I
No, not at all.
apologize.
No, you're good.
So I
I've
think
written it
that
down. It's
Yeah, no,
canon.
it's
yeah, and that,
canon.
I'm already in my notes. It's TikTok in space? Question mark name.
Um, I'll come up with a name for you, but I need a minute. But I think that like we've kind of established in session 0 that Ember ended up out here and kind of regretted it in a
Mhm.
way because there aren't as many comforts of home here. So I think that she probably only really saw like the glamorous aspects of it, at least like the active living of it, and then the historical aspects. You can like in a way like the history is written by the victors and stuff, and so yeah, whatever. Do with that what you will.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that you know where to look on this older ship to find its name, because of some of these older videos of that you've seen of these spacefaring captains, and they transported this whole group of people that were in dire straits to this other planet and were able to set up. And so I think you're able to kind of shift your gaze around, and you see that the ship is where did I write that down? There we are. The ship is the Demeter. And I think that you even remember hearing a bit about the Demeter, that it was captained by a Captain Stanhope. Yeah, the Demeter's got just a long history of unfortunate. This one will be fine, though.
Fair enough. Um, is there something important that I'm missing?
Um, there is nothing coming from this ship. There is not like any kind of SOS signal. There's not any kind of beacon to indicate that it's lost. There is nothing coming from this ship. And I think that that is unusual even for like space debris. Usually there's something, no matter how small, that's sending off some kind of a reading on the ship's instruments. What about Rogers?
I don't know that there's a role in Starhold associated with what I'm doing, but I think I'm just preparing. We know that I think that we are going to head over there. Like
Yeah.
once we get close enough and can hook up and stuff, or whatever is safest. So I'm just making sure that I have what I need in my bag, kind of looking around. It almost feels very mother hen-esque. Like, does everybody's got their flashlights? Everybody got their this? Do we
Yeah.
need anything of it? Who does this need to be recharged? So I'm just kind of doing that right now.
Yeah, I think that normally, like if we were a little further into the story, it would probably be a take a moment. You'd probably regain some lost stress by doing that. And stress is something we'll get into here shortly, I'm sure. So yeah, this ship has pulled up here. You have all kind of spotted these small elements about it, and Captain Reyes is sitting there just looking out at it. Well, this is where it led us. What do we think?
Seems like a great place to hide something if there's a great deal of supplies on this, assuming it hasn't already been picked clean.
Listen, I've seen a lot of old vids in my time, and I always know that the older a place is, the better the loot. And that thing out there, that's an Olden, a real Olden.
Anyone have any?
Never mind. Um, I mean, it's old for sure. Not to extend here, but does anyone else find it odd that there's no beacon or anything? Is it just that old?
Yeah, I turned to look at Odie. Yeah, how old are we talking? Beacons might have run out if it's as old as you think.
Uh, yeah. I think I saw in Galactic Boogaloo 3 that style of ship's like about like 200 plus years. Yeah, like all manual stuff. What, y'all didn't watch the Galactic Boogaloo series? Like what? Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
Skipped that one.
Skip that.
Yeah,
That's like,
I
oh my god.
I was told that that was a good one to avoid. The fourth one was exceptional. New director.
Yeah, that's what makes it not acceptable. Acceptable, but you know, like whatever. Nobody here appreciates R anymore.
Well, the greater point is if we aren't even getting beacons, let alone a connection to be able to communicate, are we going to be able to get a door open?
You are probably they got no neural link, so you ain't going in there with your head. You're probably gonna need some kind of some code, passphrase, or we're doing that manually.
I might be able to handle manually. Not much of a hacker myself.
It's like I mean I can get out there and manually open the door, but you got to get me all kitted up and everything like that.
Sounds dangerous, but I suppose might be a requirement.
All right, you all seem to be the experts on old tech. Where's a door that we can get to? I think between Odie's understanding of an older ship and my mechanical expertise, we could crack something if we can find a proper hatch.
Yeah.
Raise my hand. Um, if you pull around the whole thing, I think I could try to find us something. And I tap my eye.
Oh. I look over at the captain.
She nods.
I'll just take us in an arc around and start kind of doing the different crisscrosses to just go around this at every angle.
Okay, Rogers, give me a survey the scene.
Ooh. Okay. What's my plus? No, +1. Okay.
And I think Huskers, it puts you in a great position to assist if needed.
Ooh. Well, I rolled a llama and a 3, so that's a 9. +1 is 10.
Okay.
So I got
Right.
10.
So yeah, you get a hold too.
All right. Hmm. There's a how can I get out? I'm like, how do I get in?
Hmm.
I guess, is there something important I'm missing?
Yeah. So this is enormous, as we said. It takes you a little while to get around it multiple times from different spaces. But essentially, almost if you think of like a Death Star, kind of like dead center on both accesses, you can see that there is a fairly wide panel that would probably fit this ship. It looks like it was more designed for like offloading and onloading cargo. Like this wasn't designed, a colony ship isn't really built to launch and accept other ships. But it does look like the spot where when this lands, it would open up to get out all of the supplies. And so you know that there is an access panel near that.
There. Right there.
I'll maneuver us in.
Okay. And you've got one more hold if you'd like to use it.
Ooh, can I get a what happened here?
Yeah. I think that the thing that you notice as you are circling around is that there is stuff that should be on. Like even things that are 2-3 times older than this, if they are left derelict, if they crash, if they just kind of die out in middle space, whatever, there are some things that have a half-life of, thousands of years. So everything here is off. Nothing is coming out. So it has to be intentional. But Husker takes the ship down close to this large bay door. And I think you can all pretty clearly see with the lights on the aperitif that there is indeed a smaller control panel on the side where there's, no, I don't have to say anymore. Control panel really sums it up.
Yeah, I'll try to line us up so that we can get our hatch open over that area. I can't imagine. It's probably safe to say it doesn't match up with modern hatch
Correct.
kind of thing. So I'll just
Yeah.
try to do the best equivalent of our seal, our little airport tunnel, so to speak, to cover that.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it was meant to be accessed once it was in an atmosphere.
Sure. Oh, good.
So who's gonna try and make their way into this just little bit of the void, and try to figure out how to use this access panel to open the door?
Odie's already in his spacesuit.
I was gonna say, I
Odie.
remember Odie offering, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Odie,
I'd like to go as well, just in the case that anything is mechanically inclined as opposed to just forcing it.
Okay. Who are you giving control of the ship over to?
I suppose the captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you both give me an act under fire to kind of make your way across this bit of the void and get yourself safely attached to and start trying to utilize this control panel. And so act under fire. Acting under fire can be any situation that requires a special kind of grit to get through. When you act under fire, roll plus hand.
plus hand. 6, 4, 10, plus 2, 12.
Okay.
Nice.
And I would like to point out that Odie's space helmet also has a place for his hair. It has an additional attachment as he does hold his braids all the way up.
8.
8. All right. So I think that you are going to be able to get over there with him, Husker. But you're going to have a -1 ongoing till you get back inside. Like you're not having the safety of that vacuum seal feels wrong. Or you're gonna take you can kind of bottle that up and take a stress to do it. I think those are your options. Either you're gonna kind of be unsettled while you're out here, or you can push that down and just take some stress to get rid of it.
I'm gonna go with stress.
Okay. Yeah. So mark a point of stress. But you are both now over here with this control panel. You've got your little hooks in place. In front of you is a panel that slides open. There is a old retro screen, and a keyboard actually does slide out.
Well, look at how analog we're getting here. He's just Odie just like is just only pressing like the space bar of it, like do. Like we don't got this no more. That's a quality setup.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like this since obligatory training just to, do basics, and we don't use this. We can either start trying some codes, we can try to rip it open, or I can try to
Well,
hotwire something.
well, I do see that there is a button here that says enter, and we do want to go in.
Simplest
That
explanation, give it a try.
he just slams the enter key.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Well, I thought the theory was sound.
I mean, you know what? We can't all be perfect, all right?
Yeah.
You know, you do your thing. I did my thing of being the brave volunteer. You tech me in there.
I will see what I can do. This feels adjacent to mechanical failure of some kind. Since button says door open, but door no open. Could I try my move to deal with a mechanical item and suss out what the problem is?
Yeah, can you read that move to me?
Yes, you're a mechanical genius, even if no one else appreciates it as much as they should. Whenever there's a mechanical failure of some kind, roll plus head. On a 10 plus, you suss out the problem quickly and know how to fix it. 7 to 9, you have to take some time to examine it first.
So I'll give you one or two options. I think you could use that here. You could also use a repair advanced item. If you want to, it depends on which way you want to go about it first. If you want to try to see like, I don't know why I'm giving you so. I think this is going
Yeah.
to be use a repair an advanced item
Sure.
because the keyboard did come out when you opened it.
That's
So
a good
something
point.
is working correctly.
I love that. Okay. And
So
that
yeah,
is...
user repair an advanced item. Advanced items include basic vehicles, some advanced machinery, sophisticated hardware, alien technology, and the like. To use or repair an advanced item, roll plus tech.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to throw my dice as far as I can.
Perfect. They're in the studio. They're recording a commercial.
Gone forever.
That is an even 10.
All right. So on a 10, you can use repair the item without problem. How do you get through this?
I think it's, I don't want to use like our keyboards as the example, but like whatever this sort of futuristic example of Control Alt Delete is, like I want to try to take this back to its factory settings and then just start coding in, the steps for opening.
Yeah. Yeah. You start to do that, and next to you, you see that, and it's a very small number, but about a dozen lights illuminate around this. And the door starts to slide open. I think the first thing that you notice is there is no barrier. Like if you're coming home to the quasar, there's an energy barrier that you pass through so that there's not just the vacuum of space. This is just an open space. Like you notice that some stuff kind of flies out and knocks by into the ship, papers and some boxes. But it is open now, and I think that you even see a couple of lights inside turn on.
I just very, very quietly hold my hand up for a 5.
And Odie gives you way too hard of a high five.
And I spin into the vacuum of space forever.
No. I had like your air tube like attached. No. We've been through this before. I only did it once.
Yeah, so I think we find you all back on the ship looking at this open docking bay. The captain has given you back your position at the helm.
All right. Unless there's any objection, I assume I should take us in and close that door behind us.
She nods.
And I do.
Yeah, I don't think there's a roll here. You take the ship inside, and actually, once inside, it closes behind you.
Oh.
The lights in the room do stay on, and it actually starts to get a little brighter in here as the ship sets down. Side to side, there's not a lot of room. There's much more room vertically. But as soon as you get in and the ship kind of starts to power down, the captain, she leans forward, and you all see like this really faint glow through the back of her shirt, and her eyes tilt up to the side, and she nods. Then she leans back in her chair. You all have to do this without me.
What?
What?
Why?
Part of the test. You have to be worthy to get the prize. And part of being a worthy leader, setting up those who follow you to be successful without you.
I mean, yeah, no, all that makes sense, right? Yeah. And he's like, looks to everyone else for support.
Yeah.
And I want to point out too that as he looks to all of you for support, he doesn't believe himself. You might get that idea. Like, listen, Cap never led us astray before. Let's get in, get out, prove ourselves worthy. Big money, right?
Can't argue with the positivity.
I'll try to answer any questions you might have. I'll stay on comms. Julio, I think you should stay to attend me.
I was going to suggest exactly that for the sake of of doing our roles to the best of our abilities. Yes.
He could go. I'm just not sure if we're willing to risk Julio.
Now, Julio was too important to risk.
Yes.
Ain't that right, my man? And he gives Julio a high five.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we get a brief montage here of all of you gathering your stuff. The captain and Julio kind of setting up on the observation deck with what little communication you all have. You know, there is no comms room here, so I think you've got a couple of headsets that you can wear. In fact, we're going to say that there are 2 headsets that you can wear that can communicate with the captain. Who would like them? Okay. Makes sense. And now someone roll me a d6.
Why?
Because I asked nicely.
Do
I'll-
it, Susan.
I bet I know what this is for.
I saw her
Oh.
hold it up. Sorry.
It's on
For-
the floor.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. Yep, everything froze. Oh no. Can you guys hear me still? Oh no. Oh no. I'm hearing glimpses.
I'm here. I hear
Okay.
you. I hear
That
somebody.
was weird.
Did everybody freeze?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone but
Oh.
Tass.
And now everything. Oh, because we lost somebody. Well,
Yeah.
these will fix in a moment.
Yep. This will be fixed right now.
Give me one moment too.
That was wild.
Yeah, that is insane. That is
I I rolled my dice and I looked up and I said the number and everyone was frozen. But I just thought you weren't reacting like I rolled the worst possible outcome.
What did you roll?
A 1.
A 1. Roll it one more time.
Okay.
One more time.
4.
Okay. So yes, we are rolling for scarcity here. We did not really talk about this before we got into it, but between session 0 and now, I did get everybody's lines and veils as our safety tool, and because of that, I am going to negate the oxygen as the scarcity because that is on our list. So we're going to go with the second roll, which is water. So water filters, recycler machines, etc. So water is in scarcity as we are here on the Demeter.
Fine.
You all head out unless you have any last words for the captain.
I guess a question for the captain in a way, but also this would have been discussed at some point in this like journey to
Yeah.
the Demeter. Is if we can have any information on what to expect, if we have any knowledge of that at all.
Yeah, so the story that they were given was that, oh yeah, if you can follow this path, there is like a great reward at the end. And it was told to a number of people in the prison, and all of those prison inmates were theoretically released at the same time from the prison and set on this path. You have no idea if they are going on the same, they have no idea if they're doing the same thing. So all you were able to find were the coordinates hidden inside of the captain's tattoo, and then the coordinates led you here to this dead Hulk. So yeah, unfortunately, the captain isn't even sure what you're looking for in here. If the thing that you want is in here, or what.
Great.
Yeah.
Yippee.
Yes.
Wahoo. I believe in the captain.
Yeah.
I also,
Speaking of,
just real quick, I didn't see during all of the nonsense. Hey, Rem, welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Rem's here.
Welcome everyone, of course, but
Yeah.
this
Guys.
is Rem's.
guys, be cool. The creator is watching.
Oh no. I'm gonna mess up all the rules now.
oh god. I hope we get to hold more stars here soon. We're not doing a good
I've
job.
held 0 stars.
We haven't held
0
one.
so far.
I've
Oh,
gotten
man,
to
this-
hug no stars yet.
Man, this is me. That's just my Mario Party game. Let's be
I was
honest.
gonna make the
Oh,
same joke.
yeah.
I'm
Don't
so
worry.
sorry. You're
At
funnier
some
than
point,
me.
you'll start hanging out with Bowser, and we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well done.
So yes, you have all disembarked from the ship. And again, there is much more space up and down than to the side. But the thing that you can see in here, you've got behind you, which has a very similar control panel, and then, the giant docking door. And I think that now that you're outside of the ship, you can see that part of this floor would tip down for this to, be easier access to the ground. But it does seem odd, too, because this is in the middle of the ship. So, even if it landed, it would still be hundreds of feet, above the ground. So I think that's something strange worth noting. But you do have a series of smaller doors as well as some larger ones in front of you. And there is a similar control panel at the opposite end of this dock from the one that you came in on.
Does it look powered the way that the other one had lit up?
It does not. But I will say that it looks similar to the one that you approached before.
Okay. Well, if there are no other objections, I'll try to get this one back online. It might, similarly to the outside panel, lighting everything up in here, at least get us started on the next stint of whatever this Hulk holds.
Yeah, and I think that even as you approach it, the keyboard slides out.
All right, I'm gonna try a similar reboot to again, I'll like start that, like put my fingers in position ready to start that, but then kind of glance at Odie and then just hit the open button first just to see.
Yeah, nothing happens.
And then nod
The,
and
the door opens, you all get sucked out.
oh no. Oh no.
Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I don't think there's a rule for this one.
Okay.
You have figured out how to do this, and you're really just trying to get access to these doors, and you've done that once already.
Okay.
So the rest of the interior lights inside of this docking bay kick on, and all of the lights near these very large doors, as well as some personnel-sized doors, kick on, and you hear kind of the release of airlocks.
Just in case too, I having that thought of like, okay, I know how to do this, I'll actually have them huddle over. And it's kind of on them whether they keep track or not, but I'm, functionally just going to be like, all right, here are the steps. This is actually pretty basic with this tech, and show them how to do that specifically with that idea of like, all right, if there's a chance we'll be splitting up, covering more ground. This place is gargantuan. So if we come across any more like this, it's fairly straightforward now that we've got the method. And then after it cracks open, we'll take a look.
Okay. Yeah, this door cracks open, and inside you see the top of a atrium. Like you can see the tops of vegetation, of trees and bushes and stuff. There is an enormous walkway that you can see kind of goes out on both sides, but then you can't see across because of this atrium that is in the way. And then above you, you can see that there is almost entirely see-through. From the outside, it is opaque, but inside it is see-through, and you can see a much smaller walkway up above, a couple 100 feet.
So gravity in here, are we in 0G, or does it have its own gravity center now?
There is gravity in here.
Okay. Perfect.
This is weird, right? Like the ship lights coming on as we approach, despite the ship being like completely not on like radar and no beacon, etc. It's weird. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Theories. I mean, if this
Oh.
was used specifically to hide whatever the captain is looking for, there's a chance they set it up like this. They don't want it to be easily found unless it's by someone that's looking for it.
But if there's no way to find the ship, I mean, I guess we did, then the people who set it up, how can they check on it, protect it? Are we gonna get booby trapped here? I don't know the best way to not get hurt in case something is trapped or
You said
bad.
trap.
Well,
I'm not sure. I mean, the best we can do is keep our eyes out. If best case scenario, whoever hid the things that are on this path that the captain is trying to follow, they set this up to be difficult to find, and we found it. Now we just have to look around, grab it, and leave. It could be worse than that, but hopefully we've passed the first test and we just need to smash and then grab.
that did give me some comfort, actually. That's a good reminder. Let's move forward then.
Absolutely. And I don't move until someone else does.
I think I have to kind of take the lead a little bit, probably, even though I know
Yeah.
the least about opening the doors, suppose. Is there an obvious, like, path forward? Or is it, like, doors? I know you mentioned the like catwalk.
Yeah. So from where you are right now, really the only way is kind of to the right or the left because it makes this giant arcing path around the atrium, and you then can't see kind of what's on the other side
Mm.
of the atrium.
Um, let's get to the other side of the atrium. I guess anything that pops up along the way we can investigate, but I don't see some grand treasure here. I suppose Ember will start walking and is going kind of slow and like looking around as she leads the pack forward.
Okay. And are you going to the left or the right?
That's both. That's
Left.
both.
Yeah, left.
And are you all going together?
Great question.
Whatever opposite, I'm gonna step the opposite direction that our leader is going.
Hmm.
I don't want to get too far away. I just want to kind of step into the threshold of whatever the opposite hallway is, and I would like to use my move volume control.
Yeah. Yeah, so think of it like a giant ring, basically. It is a
Oh.
it is a circular walkway. And then you can only see about halfway across because of all the stuff, but you can absolutely use this move. So as you kind of step to the other side, and open your senses, give me a survey the scene.
Okay. Apologies, I was picturing the complete wrong thing from what you had said.
That's okay. I'm bad at painting pictures with my mouth.
Woo! We gotta start rolling badly at some point.
Oh, don't
That's
say that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is so wild to say.
I rolled an 11 and then +1 with my head and then plus another one. Wait. Nope, just +1. So
Okay.
that's 12.
All right, so you get a hold 2. And I will say that the questions that you can ask and the answers you will get are based around hearing.
Mhm. We're worried, or our leader is worried about getting hurt. Can I hear anything that could possibly hurt us?
I think the only thing you hear is the very, very quiet humming of a couple of servos coming from that direction.
And is there something important I'm missing?
Something important that you're missing based off of the things you can hear. There is a much deeper hum. Like as you kind of scroll through the frequencies, like you hear this humming of like servos and gears coming from like the other side of this ring path, but you hear like a much deeper one coming from below this. So something is running, even though it gives no pretense from outside that there is something running, but there is something heavy, something deep moving below.
I'll go over to Ember, touch a shoulder. There's there's something under our feet.
That's vague and a little concerning. What do you mean by that? Something under our feet.
Well, I don't know. I can hear it. It's down there. So a hum.
Like a like a like a techie hum? Or like
Yeah,
a okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, the lights have to come from somewhere. That's so far my only explanation for that. Is your inclination to check it out or maybe avoid it?
Oh, check it out.
Too. But I trust your judgment.
Really?
I mean, we're all shooting fish in a barrel here as far as where the reward / payload / stuff is. And if we go down there and it's something that we have to fight or control, better we do it on our own terms.
All right, we're going down.
With that thought, looking at like the atrium, like if I kind of walk over and just look down, look down and around at any of the growth, does it seem maintained or overgrown?
It seems maintained.
Everyone, hold up, hold up. Look at this. Somebody's here, right?
I mean, yeah, the lights are on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything seemed to be out. My initial instinct, guess, theory was that someone found this derelict, hid the thing on it, shut all the lights out to make it hard to find, and then started planting clues. Right? But if people are here, what the hell have they been doing? Why are the lights out? Are they protectors of the thing? I guess I'm spiraling on a whole new level of what the hell is happening here.
Okay. Maybe no spiraling. Maybe we are 10 feet from the ship. It's too early to spiral. But also, super valid. The feelings that I'm experiencing deep in my core are not great. What if the benefit of the doubt is given to whoever put whatever here, and they just want it to be, dramatic when someone does ultimately find it, like an escape room or some other quest for fun.
Yeah, or that thumbtack I left on your chair that one time.
That wasn't fun.
That was fun for me.
It was
Great.
It was,
Great reveal.
it was kind of funny.
Great.
That's kind of
You-
fun. Thank you.
You're next.
You all saw the cat. She heard something, and so I assumed it was, was people here. They're leaving stuff for us to find. I don't.
Does the captain
don't think-
have cybernetics?
Well, I don't know, but she cocked her head and heard something, and then said, "I have to stay."
All right, let's get moving. I suppose turnabout's fair play on suddenly comforting me a bit.
I suppose we did move past a lot of things very quickly. Do we all go together? I've got comms, and Rogers has comms, so theoretically, 2 and 2. Or maybe that's scary, and we don't want to do that yet.
I suggest we only split up if we find a specific reason for the need.
I like where your head's at.
I'm a pilot.
So to the left?
Linear. Left is just as good.
Good spacers go left.
Great.
They say that. That's what they say.
Yeah, good. Write it down. Write it down.
So you're
Good
still
spacers go left.
making your way around the circle to the left.
Yeah, we stopped halfway.
Yeah, well, we started walking, and then
Yeah.
But I think that I start walking again,
hmm
just to make sure we have eyes on like the entire circumference.
Okay. So I just want to make sure when you said, "Oh, we're going down," like you guys aren't going over the railing into the
Oh.
atrium. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, you all continue to make your way around to the left. And it's it's a good distance. It's a bit of a walk. But I think that as you start to kind of crest the 90 degrees of the first quarter of this circle, you do see the doorway, which would have been opposite of the door that you came into, of what looks like a very elegant elevator. And then maybe 20 more steps later, you see that there is a desk and there is a person at the desk and they're just watching you.
Do they react to us coming into view?
They like you see that their eyebrows go up and they're like marking your path around towards them and they
Oh,
smile.
hello. Do
And
you know where the treasure is?
I think that as you get a little closer and you're asking this question, their eyes perk up. Hello there. How may I be of assistance?
Do Do you know where the treasure is?
Don't patronize them. You could talk to them normal.
I
That is a
said it. I
very
said it normal.
that's a very philosophical question. It depends, I suppose, what you hold most dear.
Oh no! This is one of those one door leads this way and the other one leads the other way. Is it one of those games?
Don't
All
do
doors
it.
go different ways.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. We're gonna get way off base here. Could you introduce yourself to us?
Oh, yes, of course. My name is Terran Escort and Communications System. You can call me Tex. How may I be of assistance?
Is there a map of this ship that you could provide us?
Yes, of course. And they reach up and grab a hold of the monitor and pivot it around.
This is great. This is easy mode. I'd like to walk up because I'm imagining we're still like 30 feet away or something. I'd like to
Yes.
walk up and start looking at the map.
Yeah.
And Susan, sorry, I definitely interrupted you wanting to communicate with this guy more, so please do.
No, when they like brought up the philosophical, what do you hold most dear? I think my brain just disengaged and was like, oh no, there's like a puzzle I'm gonna have to do. I'm not built for this, and I just turned back to you guys.
All right. So yeah, I'd like to look at this map and first perhaps get a sense of like just how big this ship is on the inside. Like obviously from the outside, we circled it and we found an entrance, but like are we smack in the middle? Yeah, just Rev, procure me a map.
Yeah.
Paint me a
Yeah.
picture, please.
So looking at this map, what you see is that you are kind of in the front third of the space that this takes up. So that long walk that you took around kind of brought you a third of the way into the ship. There is an elevator directly behind what you saw. This is categorized as having 6 levels. So the levels must be very high. And you can see that even some of them are labeled on this map. I think that as you look at this, give me a survey the scene before I just give it away wholesale.
Damn, I thought I could.
I almost started to.
I was like, let the man monologue. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me everything. Um. mm. I rolled 3 and a 2, which is 5, plus 2 head is 7.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I get to ask one question.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the more times I roll, the worse.
Yeah.
Lots of options. I think I'm leaning towards who knows something. That is my question.
I'm gonna give you this one for free. Um, you know, Tech knows something. He's connected to the ship. But I don't think that's a terribly interesting answer, so I'll give you another question.
Okay. Um, is there something important that I'm missing? Kind of my catch-all so far, sorry.
Yeah, I think that you notice that as you scroll through the map of the 6 different levels that this is divided up into, um, the elevator is always centered on the map, and it indicates sometimes that there is stuff on both sides of the elevator, and sometimes there's only stuff on one side of the elevator. But if so, the space is being used very poorly, and there's not enough space to carry everything that you would need to start a new colony. So it almost seems like sections of the map are missing or blocked off or something.
Tex.
Yes. I don't know why I picked up
Uh,
your dialect.
Please do.
Yeah, great. I'm in.
are there any of the organic life forms? Now I'm turning Tex into. What are there other organic life forms here other than us?
Yes. There is a beautiful atrium behind you.
Well, trees are lovely. Um. Uh. Ooh. I don't.
That is a valid point. We have not had many living things on this ship in a very long time. Let me fire up a number of the systems to make sure that the air is clean and the surrounding spaces are easy to travel.
Well, yes,
Please.
that's great.
And like his eyes like roll back into his head for a second and then forward.
Who would program that?
It is to be clear, atrium flora is there fauna on the ship.
Negative.
Ah, all right.
Well, 4.
Ah, well done. Yes, thank you.
When was the last time that you saw fauna besides the 4 right here?
194 years, 7 months, 2 days, 37 seconds.
38, 39.
Wow.
Very specific.
Did they leave or did they perish?
Describe perish.
Did the energy in their body that keeps them mobile dissipate into energy in other ways, leaving them the remains of fauna?
Yes. Decay.
That's how I'm gonna explain death to my 4-year-old. Absolutely.
Just gonna say that's how you like teach a child.
He's good. He's good.
I'm clipping that. That was insane. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Traumatizing a robot.
Did that event happen to multiple living beings? Were there a lot of them and that happened all at once?
It happened over the course of a great many years. Systems failures caused cryo to break down. Travelers were awoken. unsustainable.
Oh. All right. Do you know why there is no beacon being sent from this vessel?
Our instructions were to keep the ship safe for the travelers inside. Once there were no more travelers inside, we powered down all non-essential features.
That's way less terrifying than what I'd been spiraling on. Thank you, Tex.
Is that the royal we, or are there more more yous here?
Yes, there is more of me.
Where could we find them? Can you show me on the map?
There are, for the most part, one of me in each section where questions might be had. I
Very
do various tasks, manual, physical. Those are the same thing. Both taking care of the ship, taking care of the old equipment, keeping the place clean. Some of them are now enjoying jobs that they have not done in 100 years.
Hex, what keeps you going? Philosophical question. What powers you in your form?
Ah.
Also a little philosophical.
Yes, fusion.
Nuclear.
Yes, you've heard of it.
Yeah. Ancient.
Yeah, wow.
Are you aware of what might have caused the disruption in the cryo?
Uncertain. The captain had information, but it did not. He did not take that pause. I did. But it did not make sense to us.
Do you have a log of that? Or is
I
there
do not.
one that we can find?
Yes, the captain's quarters has a log, but the captain's quarter is a restricted area.
May we please have access?
Please enter access code to captain's quarters.
Oh,
Pretty
Can
please.
I roll to influence Tex? Is that possible?
It is not, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay.
Fair.
Yeah. Because right now, like, and you're all like standing on the opposite. It's like a standing desk, like when you walk into a theater, and you're all just across it, and he's at has his keyboard on the other side.
Hex, perhaps another philosophical question,
Hmm.
but do you still need to protect the captain's quarters when there is no captain of this ship? I'm a captain.
What is your code?
Well, I have a code for my own ship.
What is your code?
Give him the code.
Ember.
Just give
And
it.
What?
Ember.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That can't be right.
No, Ember. Trust me. When have I ever let you down? Don't answer that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tex, we'll try this one, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Incorrect code.
Fair enough.
2 more entrances may be attempted before security will be activated.
Oh, whoa.
So valid. We're not gonna try again right now.
This may be a question for Reyes. If she was led here, sent here, given something to access this, I understand there's a level of we have to solve this without her, but would her code do anything if she was somehow contacted about this or led this way? I mean, we're on comms with her, right? We can ask if she has a code. We have 2 more tries.
Yeah. I'll come into Captain.
Yes.
what's the is there any part of your tattoo thingy that's a code of numbers?
Just my inmate number.
Can can I can I have it? What is it?
Yeah, she tells you.
I'm gonna look at text and I say the number.
Incorrect code.
Great.
One attempt may be allowed before security activated.
Thanks, Captain.
I maintain that it was a decent idea.
It's a great idea. I think it was a great idea. Okay. So maybe not that method of accessing the captain's quarters. Question for us. Do we think what we're looking for is in the captain's quarters? And then I think I'll like point to the map and point at all of the like kind of invisible zones, Rev, that you were mentioning, and just say like, perhaps there are other parts of the ship that could be browsed and explored to start with. There's always the weird sound down below.
Yeah, I assume that's some sort of fusion reactor, now that we have a little context.
Fair.
Yeah, Tex, what's below the atrium? We heard some weird happenings.
Water storage is directly below.
Oh.
Water. And Tex, and he's gonna kind of poke at the screen where like the invisible or walled off areas are. What rooms are these? Like, where are we not allowed to go?
Don't think Tex is allowed to answer that question. Or very slow processing speed.
Yeah, he does not respond. He just stares at you blankly.
Huh.
Well, all right. So I get the distinct feeling that we've gotten from Tex what we can. From here, we need to tread lightly because I'm not sure if this 3 code and you're out thing only applies to guessing this captain's quarters code or if that's to accessing anything in this facility.
I mean, we got here with pretty much no resistance. To this point, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now we know that security is active, and we don't want to make an enemy of our buddy here.
Six buddies, at least, right?
Yes,
One per
at
floor
least.
ish. Okay. I suppose the question is just where to go from here. Looking at the map, does Ember see anything that would be like a good next place for Rev? I don't know. Or does anybody want to go somewhere in particular?
So I think what you see, and kind of the labels that you have here. So you're currently on level 3, and the level 3 indicates that there is the docking bay, the atrium, and the elevator. Going down on level 2, you have water storage, and then going down another level, you have waste removal. And then going up on level 4, you have cryo, as well as it's left blank, but it is indicated that there is space there. It's the open space above the atrium. Continuing on the same thing again, there is a section labeled crew quarters, and then above that is on level 6 you have the like the viewing station, which is that area that you can see high up above the atrium.
Mm.
I'd be very interested to take a look at the cryo chambers and get an idea of what happened there. If all of these people died in transit and everything just shut down, this begs a lot more questions about, were they already transporting the thing that we're looking for now, or was it dropped off after the fact? That reminds me of two questions. Tex,
How may I
between,
assist you?
if you don't mind imparting, has any other organic fauna, humans, come into this station between the time of the passing of the original crew and attendants of this vessel and us arriving?
Negative.
Amazing. Can you outline parameters that would trigger a security response in the spirit of us not wanting to purposefully activate anything and cross lines per your, well, parameters?
I think in this instance, no, you know what? He knows this. This is not something he is kept from sharing. Yes, accessing restricted areas, violence against crew members, or damage to techs units.
Outstanding. Simple enough. Straightforward. I appreciate that. If we find another Tex unit, will it functionally be shared consciousness? Is it still you? Are you transmitting to them these conversations? Are we going to have to reintroduce ourselves?
I am not the prime text unit, but I can share information amongst others if that would make things easier for you.
I raise my eyebrows at the rest of them. Can you not tell them that we're 2 strikes in on the security question thing?
I cannot.
Okay.
Damn.
Well,
Where is the Prime Tex?
Privileged information. Please enter
Fair.
passcode.
Well, yeah,
Just
hold
kidding.
on.
Accident. Didn't mean it.
how many attempts do we have left on that passcode?
Waiting for input.
Oh,
I pressed the escape key.
That's
Wait, there's no keyboard here. That's not.
It's his nose. You boop him.
I've written it down. It's canon.
we're not worried about that yet. Thank you though. Thank you.
Request denied?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like looking around.
yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting for the blaring sirens and the red lights. We're like, all right, team. Up, down, left, right. Where we going?
My
Wait,
vote's cryo, but I'll follow Ember's lead.
Oh, yeah, fearless leader. Where are we going?
I'm torn between the cryo and the water. Because I don't know if water storage is supposed to sound like what Roger said it sounded like. But the cryo is gonna give us the answers that we're looking for, at least in some capacity.
I'm looking at the screen. Which one was closer again?
They're one up versus one down.
Yeah.
All right. I'll follow your lead. I trust your judgment.
Damn it.
We'd really cover more ground if we split up.
Susan.
No, hold on. Rogers has got a point.
I mean, Rogers and Aloysius, would you two like to check out the water, and maybe Husker and I will check out Cryo, and if we can reach the captain from here, we should be able to reach each other, but worst case scenario, we meet right back here at floor 3 Techs.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Baby! Baby!
Aw.
She did get big. Oh my gosh,
Oh my
incredible.
gosh.
Sorry, I'm normal about this.
Beautiful.
So yeah, after a couple of moments, the elevator dings and the door opens, and inside is another text unit. From the waist up, you've seen this text behind the desk from waist up. This one steps out of the elevator, and it has got a series of long mechanical legs. It's just a human torso on metal legs, about a dozen of them, and he clitters out. How may I be of assistance?
He does what now?
I
You heard
wasn't
me.
gonna say anything. I was gonna let it slide.
I think we need a little assistance with travel up and down.
Where would you like to go?
Well, half of us would like to go up, and the other half would like to go down. So maybe down first?
Very well. And he shuffles back into on his
Better
6
words.
legs.
Shuffles.
Yeah, we'll pile in, I suppose.
Okay. And you see that one of the legs comes up and goes into a device on the elevator, and it starts to take you down. It takes a couple of moments, and then the door opens. Second floor, water storage.
Good luck.
I mean, stay alive.
Put that out there. Don't say that.
What? I'm just saying, stay alive. Rogers and I are gonna do that. That's why I ain't gotta tell them.
So who's getting out here?
Me and
I am.
Rogers.
Okay. The door closes behind you as you step out into this large space, and the elevator moves up. Let's stay with Rogers and Odie
Yeah.
inside of the water storage. So in front of you is a huge space. There is another ring that runs around the inside of it with a guardrail up all along the sides, is essentially what you can see from here. And then up about 70 or 80 feet, you can see that there is a ceiling on this room. And you can actually see that there are root systems coming down from that ceiling, and upside down, clinging to that ceiling, you see 3 more tech systems, and they're moving around, and they're spraying the roots with water.
Wow.
And so you just hear tick, 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 tick.
Oh, we know why the atrium's so
Oh.
well maintained.
That's something you don't see every day.
Oh, what a freaky little AI guy on spider legs. I hope I don't see that very often.
I just want to survey this room, um, for narrative flavor. I think, you know, it's like a camera lens, kind of
Mhm.
like my eye goes choo choo choo, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I think the lighting is fine in here, so I don't get anything special from it. It's just narrative flavor.
Sure. Are you also opening up your hearing, or are you more so focused on just the visual elements of this room?
Oh, yeah. I guess I'll open up my orbital sensors as well, or auditory sensors as well.
Okay. Yeah, give me a survey the scene.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm only using these dice forever into eternity. That's an 11 with my plus.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get a hold too.
What don't you see?
Yeah.
What don't I see? Um, uh, hmm. Water tanks and trees and what can help me in this space?
What do you want help with? Like,
I want to
give
find
me
this
some
treasure.
find some what can help you in this space finding the treasure. Um. Hmm. You notice that the Texes on the ceiling are not as aware looking as the one that was at the front desk and the one in the elevator. It seems like like ones that are doing manual tasks, may not be as observant. So if you were trying to do something you shouldn't be doing, it happening in front of them may not be as dangerous.
Excellent. What the question is what can hurt me, but I'm thinking like if something were to go wrong, like what in here could well, yeah. What could hurt me or my friend or my team?
I mean, the text could. That's not a terribly interesting answer, so I'll give you another one because I think you've already assumed that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would say in here there isn't anything in particular that could hurt you.
Okay. I guess we could go with our oldie but goodie. Is there something important I'm missing?
Yeah, I think that with your senses open, that deep rumbling sound that you heard before is still lower than this. But on
Oh.
what you saw on the map, there is nothing below this. But there is clearly something below this.
Wait, I thought the bottom level was the waste level.
Waste removal.
Waste removal.
Yeah, but that was on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, like nothing below this.
correct.
Got
Yeah,
it.
like it's so it kind of sometimes there are, think of it as two halves, that front half that you've seen and then the 2/3 that you know exists. On the map there are places where that 2/3 exists and the 1/3 doesn't, and then vice versa. But then there are levels 4 and 5 where both sides exist on the map. The beauty of trying to describe a detailed map just using words.
That was really good, actually. That
Yeah,
really
yeah.
put it in my brain.
Thanks. What about Odie? What's Odie up to as Rogers is getting a sense of this space?
Odie is kind of taking in tactical vantage points. He is trying to see. He sees the ceiling. Obviously, he's like, all right, that's as high up as we can go. Then he'll kind of like peer down into like the water storage area. I imagine like over the guardrail just to see like how far of a drop that is going to be.
So I think that as you peer over this edge, trying to get a sense of like what that drop would be, it dawns on you that like it's not water containers below. This is a space that should be filled with water. And like 150 feet down, you can see a little bit of a shimmer of water. But the bulk of this thing is empty. Like there's not even enough to do a Bullwinkle and Rocky type dive into.
That was a dated reference, but I got that.
Boy, it was.
I hope that was a dated reference, but I got that. I felt that. Yeah, so Odie kind of just like hammers his fists on the railing. Tech fails them. Water runs out. Went from bad to worse. And then he'll kind of just walk the railings and then kind of like look on each and every other side as well. Because I imagine Rogers at this time is doing their surveying, looking, hearing, and he knows. Odie has learned from, I imagine, a scolding or two to let them do what they do best.
I think let's jump. You have gotten a look at this. Let's jump to the other two as the door opens on the other side, the 2/3 of this colony ship into the cryo chamber. The text opens, the elevator opens, and the text says, "Please let me know if there's anything else you need." And the door closes. In front of you is almost like a warehouse. It is layers and layers and layers of tubes, and they are all laid flat, but you can see giant mechanical arms so that these would lower down, come out, drop, go down, and then open up, and then the next row, and then the next row, and then the next row, and it's thousands of tubes.
I mean, I know what he said, but I just want to see it myself. Like, does it look like anything has survived? Is there anything in here that seems to have remained intact?
Yeah. I don't think looking for that specifically, there isn't a role. I would even say that it's stuffy in here.
Oh,
Like the room, the atrium, and below in the elevator and then also in the water storage, the air was pretty fresh. This is the first time this air has moved in almost 200 years.
wow. The next, I mean, besides just that initial glance of like, does anything look like it's working?
Yeah.
I want to start strolling in and see if I can find anything that's been tampered with, if it's all of them that have like had the same kind of failure, if there's I'm just looking for whatever a catalyst of disrepair and or malfunction might be.
Yeah, why don't you survey the scene?
I'll sure try it. And
Welcome to the meat locker.
God.
No. Oh.
Whoa, so close. That was a 9.
You do always have the option to aid if you would like, if you think that there's a reason you'd be helping Ember, or
Yeah.
Husker can take his one and live with it
Well, I'm worried that I'll roll poorly and
and
do
tank
a
it.
bad thing.
Uh-huh.
But I do think that I would be helping here. I think
Yeah.
that I don't want there to be a gap between the two of us in a unfamiliar and yucky environment.
Yeah.
So
So on this, you're going to roll and then add your connection. What is your connection with Husker?
my connection with Husker, I have as a +3 actually, because I asked, "Are you a trusted confidant?"
Nice.
And he answered in the affirmative. So I'm glad we're together in this scary space. I rolled a 5 + 3 is 8.
Ooh.
Okay.
So you get a
yes.
+1.
Yeah, that does bump you up. So you got 2 questions you can ask.
Here to help.
What happened here?
So I think you start to go over to one of the consoles because there is, terminals here that, as they were loading people up, prepping them for this, and you start to go back through the data logs of this, and you can see that like sections were woken up at a time. Like this thing seems to have been stalled for much longer than the 197 years that Tex had talk to you about. And then it seemed like for maybe 80 years, every 10 to 15 years, another group would be woken up. And again, then that same cycle, another group woken up. So for some reason, they were trying to wake people up, to sustain people, but nobody was sustained. And so it was not a failure of the cryo system. It was some other kind of issue. These people probably all could have stayed in cryo. And I think that the thing that stands out is that it's like a very specific number every time. Like every time the same number of people is woken up.
Interesting. Are you seeing this? And I'm like kind of going over. It seems fairly incremental, both in number and in time between waking. I mean, we got sort of specifics that. Well, specifics is wrong, but at least a hint that something caused everything to stall. They're waking each other up to try to just propagate.
Yeah, and we'll say it was like, close to 800 people every time.
Wow,
But it was
that
always
is
the same number.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't even know what to make of that.
Yeah.
Is it them trying to maintain themselves, or just to not be alone in like a horrific situation?
Yeah, it seems, I don't know, instinct is that they were trying to just get ahead of continuing as a species for a time. But I mean, it could be all manner of other things, both sinister or innocent. We need to get to that log.
I know.
Is there something important that I'm missing?
Yeah, I think that as you scroll through here, you have, the kind of generic information about the people in cryo. You have the information about them being woken up. The increments in which it was happening, the time between. And I think the thing that you notice is that the number of people woken up every time correlates exactly with the number of crew members it would take to run this ship if there was no active crew. And I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh
So you know that
no!
there was a living crew here, obviously, to run the ship, but the number that was woken up every time is the number of people it would take to fully crew the ship.
Oh no!
So, everybody, let's remind everyone where they can find us, Masha.
Here, staring off into space while I consider the implications of what you've just done. Rev. Yes, if you would like to find me, I'll be here next week along with these lovely people for session 2. I am also a cast member of Turntables RPG. We also play tabletop games, and on Wednesday we will be playing D&D, so feel free to join us there if you'd like more of me.
Heard of it? D&D? What's
that?
Doorknobs and doorknobs.
Broomsticks? Oh.
Doorknobs squared. It's
Doorknobs and doorknobs.
every other D you could think of was dirty, and so you were filtering.
I couldn't. 2 doorknobs. It's a fun show. Someone else talk.
Percy.
I'm Percy. You can hear my voice doing commentary for Naptown All Pro on IWTV. Additionally, you can find me here for the Omniverse Chronicles with my lovely friends. I'm so lucky to be here. Additionally, social media at Big Percy Universe. And yeah, say hi.
Nice. Susan.
Hey, Instagram at neither right nor wrong. Come look at my dogs and all the food I cook. And And novel games, novelgamespodcast.com, or any podcasting app you have. I'm in the middle of editing the next episode that I promise does exist and will come out soon.
And Tass.
Monday nights, you can find me here. Wednesdays, you can find me wherever you listen to podcasts. Fridays, you can find me on the Crit Show's Patreon. And Saturday nights at my place. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. I'm Revs and whatevs. No. And I'm Rev.
Fire.
You can find me mostly on Marvel Rivals. You can also find me on I think I'm using Rev Deshane on most things. You can find the Crit Show. That's where you should look for me. We've got a TikTok, assuming that's still around in a couple of weeks. But if not, we'll switch to Space TikTok after Masha names it.
Zigzag.
So far, nothing good has
Yes.
come to mind. I'll get there eventually.
If you are
I'll
coming
have to
in,
grab first.
if you are coming into this late, this full episode will be posted on YouTube, as will all of the Omniverse Chronicle stories that we tell. So if you are not following our YouTube, you can go over there and, as Tass said earlier, smash that like and subscribe button. And you can find all of the previous stories we did on Omniverse Chronicles, as well as a couple of other video content, including our live show from Gen Con this last year, Game Master, which was our loving homage to Taskmaster, which we are hoping to do again this year. The end. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we will see you all again next week.
Bye-bye.